Bulavanaka. Hello everyone, I'm Greg Clark. Welcome to Drua Talk. Well, once again we're reflecting on another loss on the road for the Swire shipping Fijian Drua. You can take the man out of Fiji, but he seemingly doesn't like it and can't wait to get back home. But the Drua are still 8th, and I guess it was always going to come down to the final match in the regular season against the Melbourne Rebels to see if they make it through to the playoffs again this year. Well, this week's guests include Drua head coach Mick Byrne, Drua utility back Kemu Valetini swings by CLARKIE's corner. We hear from the Rebels prop Sam Talakai. We don't have a Drua try of the week, so we'll take in some of the best from week 14 of the Shop and Save Super Rugby Pacific. We start in Dunedin. The Drua kept the Highlanders scoreless for the first 18 minutes, but then errors became very costly, and the Drua were on the receiving end of another big loss away from home. This is how it all unfolded.
Thank you, Joey. Yes, good support here for the Drua this afternoon. And having to do something that is proven difficult. Win away from Fiji. For the Fijian Drua, Isaiah Armstrong-Ravula gets the final game of the penultimate round of Super Rugby Pacific underway at Forsyth Bar Stadium. Tavatavanawai lurking away blind.
Everyone's fine.
Tava wants his hands on it. It's got a few options to work with here. Just want to carry to settle things down. Gilbert away for Faleafunga. Here's Jacob Ratamatavuki. Neitkin shifting in, and here he is, he's back! Jonah Naideki, welcome back to Super Rugby. Front rows go down. Ben O'Keefe will play on Billy Harmon. Back to his halfback, Naideki. First receiver sells the dummy. Gets through them. Look at it, link up with support. Oh, this is outstanding. Jacob Ratamatavuki Neitkin says Jonah Naideki, thanks very much. So the Highlanders, 18 points to the good. Away we go in the second half. There's Konia Wanga.
In front.
Got another advantage to work with here. Faleafunga, short to Hiwi. Had a player on the outside. And he just takes it to ground a few metres out. Still on here for the Highlanders. Big time. Hands, he's going to get two. What a game he's having. Jonah Naideki for the Highlanders. It's Dunshea waits to go one wider to Jermaine Ainsley. Gilbert, now he kicks across to the right wing of Timothy Tavatavanawai. Magic ball back out to the wing. Oh, that's outstanding. Oh, the Highlanders playing some code this afternoon, and Timothy Tavatavanawai has it. 10 years in Super Rugby, and who started out with the Crusaders 10 years ago. Here's another try for the Highlanders. Nick Cotter brought in, swan dives it under the post. Dishes it away. Oh, there's almost an intercept for the Drua. Come forward, penalty advantage too. O'Keefe reckons they weren't in a position to have a fair crack at it. He caught it, brought in Max Hicks, in fact it is, looking to pass the ball round the corner. And
What number?
he hasn't dug in the pocket today yet, Ben O'Keefe, but that might change.
Well, he was doing a lot of talk. You might have heard him to his TMO.
15 Drua. Deliver, knock on, stops the line break.
AJ Faleafunga says that'll do. The Highlanders are going back to the Super Rugby quarterfinals.
The Drua were their own worst enemy, and the Highlanders secured a place in the top 8. And checking all the results, the Hurricanes beat the Chiefs 20-17 in Hamilton. The Brumbies stampeded the Rebels in Canberra, winning 53-17. Moana down the Waratahs 27-12 in Auckland. The Crusaders upset the Blues 29-27 in Christchurch. The Reds smashed the Force 59-13 in Brisbane, and the Highlanders gave the Drua plenty to think about on the long flight home from Dunedin, winning by 36 points. So with one game to go in the regular season, it's still the Blues officially on top of the Hurricanes. Both are on 51 points. The Brumbies are third and can still make top spot mathematically. The Chiefs will be in the top 4 as they're on 43. The Reds will finish 5th. The Highlanders move to 6th. The Rebels are on 26 and the Drua 21. If the Drua beat the Rebels on Saturday in Lautoka, that will be our top 8. A loss for the Drua means the Force, Crusaders and Moana could sneak into the playoffs, but the Waratahs will definitely finish with the wooden spoon. We are in for a big finish. This is Drua Talk with Greg Clark. Let's hear from Drua head coach Mick Byrne. Well, Mick, well, it was another frustrating road trip for the Drua. Too many mistakes, and most of them were very costly, weren't they?
Yeah, I think we look back on the game, the first 20 minutes, I think we had a chance to score 3 really good tries and bomb the 3 of them. And then we went down and they scored a try on an error from us. So very costly and very disappointing.
Mick, a quick look at the last couple of weeks, and the one team to win on the road was a top 4 side. Hurricanes last week, the Chiefs before that. So it is a big ask to win on the road, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And, I think I was talking to a couple of the Highlanders guys, and they're similar. Like coming out of Dunedin's not always a direct flight, so it is a tough. And the Western Force are in a similar situation, and as you say, there's only a top 14 that's won away in the last couple of weeks. So it is a tough competition to win away. Travel has its effects. Staying in hotels has its effects, things like that. But everyone's learning to get through it. But teams like ourselves, we've got big travel hours. I see the West Coast Eagles and Fremantle now are putting a request to the AFL to restructure the AFL competition because of away games. The Melbourne teams play in Melbourne 17 times in the year and only travel 8 times. Whereas the Western Force travel 17 times and play 8. So they're trying to say, look, travel's a big part of sport. We understand that, but also dealing with travel has its effects. Not making excuses. It's the nature of the game, but we need to find ways and solutions, like every team's doing at the moment, to find solutions for their away games.
Hopefully there'll be more road trips in the playoffs if the Drua can beat the Rebels this week. So what are the work-ons this week?
Oh, well, we got a short week, that's the first thing. Fiji Airways was great. The biggest challenge on our work-on this week was how do we get back and get recovered, and Fiji Airways came through with that. They got us home on Sunday night, so we were able to get in here yesterday and recover. Without that trip, we would have only got in last night, so it would have meant today's training would have been quite awkward. As it was, we've had a really good day. We've been able to lay out our game plan. We've been able to do it a little bit differently. Not quite the normal, but not quite a full Tuesday training either. So because we're able to get back in Sunday night, we've been able to prepare well, given it's a short week.
Mick, the Drua have bounced back from losses and won the following week at home at least 3 or 4 times this year. We know what they're capable of in Suva and Lautoka, and like last year, this final home game is must win. So you've been in this position before. Yeah,
definitely, and I think we're probably at our best when we're got this sort of situation where we must win. We've had a couple of weeks where I think the Reds game was a must win for us, because we knew if we didn't win that, we'd probably might be in trouble getting through. We won that, which kept our season alive, and last week we had a double chance, if you like. We could win last week and lock it away, or we'd have to win this week to lock it away. So we always seem to be much better at that last one when there's no second chance. We've been good at dealing in those situations, and I think today's any indication, the boys are up for it.
Week 7 in Melbourne, the Rebels beat the Drua 41-20. Have you revisited that game, or is it all about the Drua getting back to what they do best by bringing the physicality and making the right choices?
Yeah, I think if the game stops 25 minutes or even 30 minutes into that game, and said who's going to win this game, you probably would have said we would. Very disappointing second half. We haven't revisited that. The Rebels, they've had a full credit to them, the year they've had. There's been a lot of external motivation for them, and you can only ride that for so long. And they've been able to turn that into internal motivation for them, and no doubt they're going to be in their first finals. It's a good time to do it for them, reward for them and the work they've had. For us, though, it's been all about us, focusing on what we need to do. We haven't looked back at that game, and we're just looking forward. In a short week, we don't have time to be looking anywhere else but ourselves, and that's what we're focusing on this week.
Well, the Rebels have lost their last 5 games, but it's only going to take a win this week to regain some confidence, and we don't know what the future holds for them yet, but they are in the playoffs, so they can't be taken lightly, can they?
Oh no, any team that's beaten you this year can't be taken lightly, so we get a chance to turn that around at home. It's a great place to do it. We're looking forward to being back home in front of our fans.
Mick, what's the message to the fans this week? The Drua needs their support at Lautoka on Saturday, and it's a final game of 2024 at home.
Yeah, I think last year, trying to test my memory here, Clarkie, but I think it might have been 17-all at half time down there in Suva against the Reds, and we knew what it meant to our fans, and our fans knew what they meant to us, and they pushed us through that second half, and we had a good victory. To our fans, we know what we mean to you, and you turn up every week, and this week we'll show you what we can do for you.
Well, Mick, hopefully it's not your last game in charge before moving on to the Flying Fijians. Thanks again for joining us, and I look forward to chatting again next week. Vanaka.
Yeah, Vanaka, Clarkie.
There is one more throw of the dice on Fiji soil for the Drua in 2024, so get to Churchill Park in Lautoka to see the boys take on the Melbourne Rebels in a must-win game. Kick-off 2 p.m. See you there. Now on Drua Talk, it's time to catch up with Rebels and Wallaby prop Sam Talakai. Hi Sam, thanks for joining us. Things didn't go to plan in Canberra last week. The Rebels are normally very competitive, so what came out of the review?
Thanks for having me, Clarkie. From the review, we talked about our accuracy and intent. Both were missing on the weekend, and that's something we're looking to rectify this week coming up against Drua.
Now, while you're guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, you've lost 5 on the trot. Can you put some of the blame on the off-field drama that's engulfed the Rebels all season, or do you block all of that out?
It is a distraction, but we have to block it out and look at what we're doing and understand the bits in the game that are really costing us. We have lost 5 on the trot, but we've played some good footy in between them. We've just got to play them for longer periods and then ice moments at the end of the game.
What's the feeling in the squad, mate? Is there a sense that it won't take much to turn things around on the paddock?
That's it pretty much. Like you said, when we get things right, we feel like we're very good and build our game and create pressure. But yeah, we've got to understand when to shift the momentum towards us when it's against us.
Now, you played the Drua a couple of times this year, a pre-season trial and then week 7, which you won 41-20. Has the team revisited that performance, or is it all about this week and sticking to the game plan?
For all good performances, and I guess bad performances as well, we review them. But specifically for those 2 games, against the Drua, we understand what we need to do and what we need to execute to get a result. And that's been the full focus this week.
The trip to Fiji is one of the toughest road trips. Have you done anything different in preparation for the heat and the humidity?
A lot more hydration earlier in the week. We understand it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid. But other than that, really trying to narrow the focus on our key points and then delivering that obviously this week at training, but then making sure that we're onto it on the game on Saturday at Lautoka.
Well, visiting teams seem to love the experience of playing in Fiji. Is that the case with the Rebels? Do you enjoy the fanatical fans and the atmosphere?
100%. Love it. Love seeing the people from the island happy. Love to see them barrack for their team. But yeah, it is daunting as well. You know, when you're playing against them. But this week for us, we've got to take them out of the contest. We understand that, and that's something that we hope that we can do this weekend.
Sam, have you been impressed with the Drua's performances at home?
I don't think just this season. I think it's a tough trip for away teams, and their results have shown that over not just this season, previous years as well. They're a tough team to beat at home. We understand that, but we've got to be clinical on the day, and that's what matters the most.
Well, Sam, thanks again for your time. We look forward to another great occasion in Lautoka on Saturday. See you there.
Cheers. Thanks for that, Clarkie.
Great to chat to Sam Talakai from the Rebels and get his thoughts ahead of Week 15. The Rebels are safely in the top 8, but they need to start winning if they are to take any form into the playoffs next week. So, it's the Crusaders taking on Moana in Christchurch. The winner will keep their hopes alive for at least 24 hours. The Waratahs host the Reds in Sydney in an interstate grudge match that dates back well over 100 years. In fact, New South Wales versus Queensland is one of the oldest sporting rivalries. The Tars will be wooden spooners, but they are desperate to go out with a bang on Friday. On Saturday, the Drua host the Rebels. It's do or die for the Drua in Lautoka. Kick-off 2 p.m. The Hurricanes play the Highlanders in Wellington. That's followed by the Blues hosting the Chiefs in Auckland in another cracking Kiwi derby. And the Force need to beat the Brumbies in Perth and hope that other results go their way earlier in the round. Win or lose, the Brumbies will host a quarterfinal next week in Canberra. What a fascinating final round it will be. Okay, time now to head to Clarkie's Corner. On Drua Talk, it's time to see who's in Clarkie's Corner. Joining us this week is Kemu Valetini. Bulla. Thanks for your time. Melbourne born and bred, but a strong Fijian heritage. Tell us about that. Where is the family from?
So my dad's from Kondabungaloa and my mum's from Tukulao, but growing up they all grew up in Lautoka area, so around the Top Line and Ralph region areas.
Has it been easy reconnecting with Fiji?
A little bit difficult at times because I didn't really know too much about my Fijian heritage. Obviously, like I grew up in Australia, so in Melbourne was a bit different. Like I felt like the way we grew up was Fijian, but we just didn't understand, I guess, the cultural aspects of stuff. Growing up, there's a lot of, a lot of those, what's it called, like like the traditional stuff about Fiji, like just since I've been here, I've learned like so much about the culture and just. There's more to it than just being from Fiji.
Now, Valetini is now a well-known rugby name in Australia and Fiji, thanks to you and your younger brother, Wallaby star Rob. So when did you start playing rugby and where?
So we started I was about 5 years old at Harlequins Rugby Club in Melbourne. Pretty much played there probably up until I was into seniors and stuff like that. But yeah, me and my brothers, we all grew up playing at Harlequins Rugby Club in Melbourne, and yeah, we started at a really young age. My dad played rugby there as well, so it was just the natural beginning for us to start at that club as well.
Kemu, here's a snapshot of your rugby history. Harlequins in Melbourne, the rising in the NRC in 2018. You had a stint in Spain before COVID forced you home. Manly in the Shute Shield in Sydney, and then the opportunity to play for the Drua came along in 2023. But it hasn't always been easy, has it? Mainly because of injury?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a journey. Just trying to, I guess, experience, let rugby take me on a path. But yeah, just injuries kind of hampered me when I was really young. Had a shoulder reconstruction when I was 19. Then came back from that, and then that same year when I was at 20, I had an ACL injury as well. So. And then I just had recurring operations after that on the same knee, so kind of hampered me a bit in my progression, but stuck at it, kept training hard, and just persevered with it, and just obviously thanks to my support through my mum and dad and that, they really helped me at times when it wasn't really looking too bright for myself, but they all supported me and encouraged me to keep going, and so I'm glad that they did that. And so yeah, then just continued on from there, went to Spain. Didn't really work out for myself there. It was just maybe I was feeling a bit homesick, and it was far away from home. And then I came back, and yeah, went to Manly the year after. a couple of years after because of COVID. And yeah, really liked Manly, enjoyed Manly, liked the club there, the people there were great, made some really good friends there, and then from then just progressed on through the Drua. So it was a bit of a long way, it took a long way to get here, but it was all worth it in the end.
You've slotted into the Drua really well. It seems like there's a great team morale. Everybody seems to be laughing and joking most of the time, maybe not after a loss though.
No, it's good. I think the boys really enjoy each other's company. I think that's a good thing about this team. I think it's, I've been a part of teams where I guess the connection isn't naturally there, where this team, the connection is already here. The boys understand each other, they understand the culture, they understand how the team operates, and I guess everyone here being from Fiji, it just makes it a lot more easier to get along with each other and build a bond here. And so, no, it's really good. The environment's good. Coaches are really good, and I think that's probably something that I've enjoyed is the culture and the bond between the boys here.
Now, you made your debut last season against the Crusaders, stepping up to slot the winning penalty. You've done it a few times now. Tell us about your kicking process. You can obviously block out the pressure.
Yeah. I think I've learnt from the past. I think there was a couple of times when I was a little bit younger, I kind of probably let the noise get to my head a bit, and I think those experiences kind of help you when you're, I guess, in those situations. I feel like I've learnt so much from a couple of times not getting the kick right and letting the team down. So I kind of put that pressure on myself to when it happens, I step up and I own that moment and I just take control and control what I can control. I can't really do too much about the crowd, but I've just got to stick to what I know, stick to my process, and hopefully in the end of the day the ball goes through the post.
Finally, I know you get asked this a lot, but I'll ask it again. Who's the favourite son in the family this month? No doubt it changes throughout the year. You or Rob?
I'm not sure. I think it's pretty even now. I think it just depends. It's a bit iffy, but I think at times, if I'm doing well, then my mum's on my side, and if my brother's doing well, then I kind of can see the shift in who she's favouring there. But I think it's pretty even at the moment. I think either way, my mum and dad are proud of us, and just happy that we're doing something that we really enjoy, and that we've stuck at it and continue to persevere with our rugby careers.
Kemu, thanks for joining us, mate. All the best for the rest of the season and the future. Go well. Vanaka.
Cheers, Clarkie. Thank you.
Kemu Valetini. He's been a good addition to the Drua on the field and off, as he's an experienced utility back and he can help out the young 10s and 12s as well. Well, we can't show you a Drua try of the week because the boys didn't manage to cross the line in Dunedin, but we know how well they can play in Lautoka. So let's flash back to week 10, the previous game at Churchill Park against Moana.
Silla again. The go-to man, Marcy, got away from 1, 2. He's got a man on the inside as well. It's Rakuro, and he is heading for the line. Can he get it down? Yes! On the line, it's a try. It's a sensational start. Falls for Rakura. Ravu Taumunda kicking ahead. Chase is on. Will he get the bounce? Celestino. Ravu Taumunda. Ravu Taumunda. For a volley. Silla. They've got numbers out wide. Armstrong, Robola, Dorsesi, Rakuro, big one, and he's over. He's got a double.
Some action from the last game in Lautoka. A win over Moana Pacifica. Can the Drua beat the Rebels this Saturday and reach the playoffs for the second straight year? And as we head into the final round of the regular season, here is some of the action from week 14.
As far as Armstrong, Ravula, Elisa Drua, so good on his feet. They'll try and hold the fullback up here too. And the man who put the kick through almost managed to effect it. I think Sean Withey's ripped this away as well. Excellent start for the Highlanders. For AJ Faleafaga, who looks low, tries to find the angle for the 50-22, spilling across to the far side. No real room for Armstrong. Ravula gets a lovely bounce.
Forward.
And the ball has come forward, yeah. And clean ball off the scrum for a Drua. Munda off his wing. Hard man to bring down. Eventually he is. As they go to work 30 metres out. Opportunity for them now to try and crack inside the Highlanders 22 for the first time in the game. Could have volleyed. Dishes the ball away. Players arrive in numbers. Here's Mussy. And we mentioned in the build-up, they put him away, the Highlanders defence. Talakai trying to stand in the tackle. He breaks through strongly. Talakai taken down, desperate attempt Fakatava to bring the 8 to ground. They've got an advantage. Isaiah Armstrong Ravula over to the wing of Munda, beats everybody. Ikanivini brought down just short, the captain. Loading up, one off to the right.
Offside, release.
Jack Taylor going to try and get over the ball. Holland went low again. Isaiah Armstrong Ravula for Yosefo Masi. He breaks the line. The slice man goes through. He beats a second, puts a fend on, but eventually Muds, a man born in Huntley, schooled at Hamilton Boys High School, and of course he was ready to become a big part of Fiji's World Cup campaign. His cruel knee injury ruled him out. Again, trying to get it wide as they can, and they do. Sessic carts it up. Good run down.
Just some of the scoring action from last week. Look out for more of the same this weekend. Time is almost up for Drua Talk with Greg Clark, and I'm going to leave you with a look at the Swire Shipping Fijian Drua men's squad to take the field this Saturday, 2 p.m. in Lautoka. Get there early and get behind your team. Bye for now. Mobe.